So the next dream that I had, it actually took place while season 13 was going on. And it actually happened, I dreamed it right after episode 12, so I was kind of feeling a little discouraged. But my friends were like super awesome and supportive to me about, like, just kind of a bummer how Dean was written in the episode and just what was going on with Dean and Rowena in general in that episode. I can actually talk about that more in this video. Um, it was kind of nice to have this dream. It kind of gave me some high spirits about, where it could go. There's always possibility that things can be remended and everything. And the dream itself was actually really funny. Um, Basically, Oliviette turned back into a human. I don't know how. It suddenly just showed her on the wheel in hell, like on the hamster wheel, which was really weird because why did Asmodeus keep her alive? But she was alive, and she suddenly just became Oliviette again. So I don't know if, like, I can't even make heads or tails of it. She came back to life. And she was ready for revenge. And how she did it is every witch who had been killed by Rowena, Sam, or Dean came back to life. She brought them back to life. And she had Katrina, she had Jamie and Jenny. I think it's Jamie and Jenny from episode 12. And then she had there was another female character. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was her name Elle? There was no, because she wasn't a witch, but for some reason she came back to life. So Elle from season 10, which introduced Girls, 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 the girl who she had rescued but then later killed with a attack dog spell. I guess since she was in training to be a witch, they considered it as a witch, because the spell was supposed to bring back witches, but you know what, my dream has plot holes. But they all came back to life, and they wanted revenge against Rowena, and Sam and Dean, of course, because Dean killed Katrina, Sam and Dean aided in killing Jamie and Jenny, or at least stopping Jamie and Jenny, and Rowena killed Jamie and Jenny, and then, Rowena killed, Al. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. But the really funny thing of this particular dream is how they fought. Katrina thought that she should be in charge because she was really powerful, even though Oliviette's like, I'm the head of the coven, which Katrina's like, yeah, the coven that's extinct, it doesn't exist anymore. And then Jamie and Jenny wanted to get back to bringing their mom back to life, and everyone was like, yeah, that blew up in your face. That's not happening. And then they wanted to, like, get new clothes, and they wanted to get their hair done before they had to go and kill everybody. And Oliviette was, like, banging her head against the wall. There's actually moments where I felt bad for Oliviette because it was really, really funny. And at one point, they had captured Rowena, Sam, and Dean. Sam and Dean were fighting the Laughlands, Gavin, and I forgot the other's name. I might even not. I don't think it's Gavin. Well, the boys, the brothers, the Laughlin brothers, they were fighting them, and then Rowena was fighting Jamie and Jenny, which she had no problems with, but then Katrina caught her off guard, and Olivia caught her off guard, and Elle really caught her off guard because she felt bad for killing Elle. And throughout the dream, she was actually like her old self, like her sparkly dress old self, was having fights with her about like what she had become, and just like really seeing the development really in the dream. And this moment was really interesting because Rowena got really caught off guard when she saw Elle, and so she couldn't fight her, and so she kind of lost her nerve just for that moment, and they all kind of jumped her, and they were fighting about tying her up because Rowena was putting a fight, and they're tying her up with rope, and this moment comes where Katrina has to hold her arms, and Jamie's like, hold her arms while I tie her up, and she's like, wait, why do I have to hold her arms? I'm like the head of a coven, like, why do I have to be doing this? And she's like, because I said so, like, stop being such a bitch. Like, it was so funny, and Olivia's like sitting there in the chair. She was Queen of Hell, by the way, which is really weird. I don't know why she was Queen of Hell. She and Asmodeus had something going on. I don't know. Asmodeus liked her a lot, and he let her like take over hell for the day, which blew up in her face in the end. But Olivia's sitting there in the throne, and Rowena down on the floor actually looks up at one point and goes, "Yeah, excuse me, prisoner who wants to get out of here. Can you two stop bitching and just either tie me up or kill me because you're giving me a wee headache?" And so they gag her because they're like, shut up!" And they're just fighting and fighting and fighting. And then Sam and Dean, and this is where kind of the rescue comes in. Sam and Dean make it into the throne room, but Sam gets separated from Dean, and I don't remember how. Cass was there too, and Cass met Meg and ended up getting extremely distracted. Like, he didn't even want to go anywhere. He just wanted to free Meg from hell, which in my dream he actually did, which was kind of cool. But yeah, Cass was extremely distracted, and Sam was somehow separated from them, and so it was Dean. He saw Rowena was getting like all tied up and everything, and Katrina had a knife and she was gonna stab Rowena, and they were all fighting about who was gonna get to kill her, because they're like, well, technically we should get to kill her because she actually killed us. Like Jamie and Jenny say that, and Katrina's like, yeah, but she ruined my life. And they're like, oh, get over it. Like, she didn't actually kill you and everything. But Katrina decided she's gonna do it anyway. And Dean, like, he takes his foot, and he doesn't necessarily kick her in the head, but he kind of like, he slides down because Elle has magic. Jamie and Jenny like threw their powers at him, and so he slid down, and he used his foot and he wrapped it around Katrina's waist and just like threw her, which was kind of cool. And then he untied Rowena's arms, but then he got thrown away, and literally Olivia's just sitting here completely entertained, thinking that it's all going to come out, that like, you know, Dean and Rowena are going to get murdered. So she's sitting there letting it happen, and Jamie and Jenny throw Dean across the room, and they go towards him, and Rowena uses her magic to swing them back. So there's a lot of swinging, but at one point, like, Dean and Rowena get like thrown in the air and just like headbutted, which looked like it really hurt, especially since Rowena said she was seeing two of the bitch twins, as she called Jamie and Jenny. And she's like, and that's more than I care to need. But Dean, he had his witch killing bullets, and Rowena switched them before they got there, because she didn't know that they were going to be dealing with witches. And I don't know why Rowena did it, but like, Dean's got his gun, and he shoots one of them, and Rowena's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm gonna shoot one of them. And she's like, oh, and he shoots, and it wasn't even, she didn't think he was gonna shoot her, because he asked her, he's like, why did you switch the bullets? And she's like, I just thought it was a better idea than what you had in mind. Like, and I don't know why she felt that way. Like, I don't know what their conversation was before this, so I don't know why she did it, but she switched the bullets. So when he shot Jamie, it just like went through her stomach, and it hurt, and she got mad, and she bitch slapped him. But like, that's really about it. And Dean just kind of looks at Rowena like, why did you switch the bullets? Now we're screwed. So Dean and Rowena end up having to work together to defeat them, but it was kind of a cool action scene. They got thrown around, but they did manage to get in a few, you know, kicks and hits and punches, and Rowena managed to get in her magic. And then, like, Olivia stood up finally when the girls were trying to grab more rope, and was like, okay, I'm gonna step in here and just say that we could have been using chains this entire time. Like, iron shackles, maybe, because she's a witch. And Jamie and Jenny are like, oh, why didn't you think of that? And they started fighting, and Jamie and Jenny, well, like, Rowena looks at Dean, and she's like, they're dead, they came back different. And he's like, what? And she's like, when someone dies, they come back different, don't they? And he's like, I don't know, you kind of came back the same way. And she, you know, smacked him for that, but she was like, she's like, you changed, just go with me on this. And so she got Jamie and Jenny to fight some more about it, and eventually Jamie and Jenny killed each other again in the same way, only this time willingly. They just killed each other. And so Katrina's like, well, those guys were idiots. Elle, tie him up. And Elle's like, I don't want to tie up Dean. He was nice to me. And Katrina's like, seriously? He killed me. And she's like, well, I don't really know you that well, so I don't really care. And so Katrina kills Elle. And then it's Katrina and Olivia last. And Dean and Rowena manage to convince Olivia and Katrina that they should be fighting each other because, like, who should be in charge of the coven. And Olivia is the first not falling for it. Like, she's like, Katrina, they're trying to break us up. But Katrina is being stubborn, and she's like, yeah, I should be in charge. Like, I own this coven and everything. And Olivia's like, I'm queen of hell. I win. And, like, Katrina's like, why am I not queen of hell? And she's like, because you didn't. In the dream, Olivia said, you didn't fuck the king of hell, is what she said. And Rowena's eyes, like, widen. And Katrina's like, just because Asmodeus is horny. And Olivia's like, no, I'm not talking about Asmodeus. And, like, everybody was like, what? And so, like, that was interesting. But Katrina still thinks she should be queen of hell. And Olivia just is just kind of just like, look, if you want like a standing in the coven, it's yours, but I'm queen. And so she does manage to convince Katrina of that at least, but it gave Rowena time to untie her legs and time to harness her powers, which she'd lost her nerve, and she was watching like the other Rowena talking to her about how weak she'd become. And I don't know how this worked exactly, but for some reason, because she was able to slowly harness each dead person's life source or something like that. Like, she did a spell that, like, harnessed their life source, so it made it more powerful. And then, I still don't know how this works, but the other Rowena was like, you know, you need to get your nerve back and everything. Dean was kind of being the voice of reason to her and like saying like, you know, who you've become is still more powerful because now you know you have something to fight for. And so she was listening to him, she was listening to that Rowena, and somehow because the two were at odds, she was able to harness his positive, her negative, and then like, I don't know. Dreams are weird. But she got them together. And then, like, she took the life source of the image, which I guess Olivia created. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how this all went. But she set both Katrina and Olivia on fire. And it was really cool looking. And then they just blew up in smoke. I mean, like, dust, smoke, gone. And Asmodeus walked in at one point. He was whistling, and yes, he was eating chicken. I'm not even kidding, you guys. He was eating a bucket of chicken from Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they looked up at him, and they didn't even have an oh crap face that you would expect someone to have when the King of Hell walks in, and the Queen of Hell just got obliterated. He just walks in whistling, and he suddenly notices that she's dead, and he's like, well, I'm out. And he just like walked away. Like, I don't even know. And Sam comes running in, and he had killed the other Laughlins. And then Cass came in, and he's like, guys! And he's like, got Meg in a wheelchair. He's got Meg in a wheelchair. And he's like, guys, she said yes! And they're like, what? And then I woke up. So that was my dream. That was my second dream with Rowena, and that was a really fun one, and I woke up laughing and thinking, I hope this dynamic is in season 14, because season 13 hasn't happened, but Fernarella came out after that, and it had some pretty fun dynamics with Dean and Rowena. So that was my dream. The next one I'm going to be doing is not Dean, it's Deanman. It's Demon Dean. These next ones, because that is another fun dynamic that I enjoy, of like the what if Rowena met Deanman. And the first one I'll be doing is pretty hardcore bondage, full on, and so that is not safe for work, and I'll put a disclaimer. So yeah, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.